Well, this afternoon we're going to be preparing a vegan burger, and we're going to put some little extras on it that really will make it extra special. We're not starting from scratch. We are using these branded vegan plant-based burgers. They're 113 gram Beyond Meat burgers. They're the ones we like the best. We're not promoting them, but you find one that you like and find really acceptable. I find these really good for pan frying. We haven't tried them as a barbecue. Little extra slice we're going to put on these smoked applewood vegan slices on top of the burgers, and we're going to make using white onions and yellow peppers. Could use red onions and red peppers, but we're going to make a little marmalade topping or chutney that goes in with the burgers, which is very simple and will go in the same pan. We're also making homemade fries or chips, which is so easy at this time of year. Small potatoes. I know you're looking at those thinking, oh, those French fries, or are they potato chips or chips? It's just because we've got to the bottom of the bag and really they were small potatoes, so they're coming out as sliced small potato fries. And we've just put these on a little bit of baking parchment. No matter how good our non-stick trays are in the Arga, we find these stick, so this little slip of this brown baking parchment really does make them crisp up nicely and stop sticking. Just going to give them a little sprinkling of salt and pepper, and then they'll go in the Arga. And that's what you need to do first. Get them slightly coated in oil. Try and use as little vegetable oil as you can to coat these. That's particularly okay if you use the baking parchment, they're not going to stick, but the healthier they'll be if you can get away with lesser of the vegetable oil, the better. So those go straight into the Arga, and then we'll cut up the peppers and the onions and start the onion marmalade. Okay, so my chips have been in the top of the Arga cooker for around 15 minutes. I've got a splash of oil into the base of a really large frying pan, and I'm going to add to it my cut up peppers and onions. You'll see I've sliced the peppers into coarse ribbons and the onions into slightly thinner ribbons because they will cook slightly quicker. And that lot just goes straight into the pan, and then you want to fry it on a gentle heat until the onions and the peppers caramelise. Now I'm doing this on a Arga range cooker. Sorry about the mess on it. It's been used and loved for the last 12 years in this farmhouse, and I'm doing it under the supervision of a rather cute little poodle who sits at the base of this. I usually have a Weimaraner poodle and a spaniel to try and lean over, which makes cooking a little hazardous. Right, so you see those onions are frying nicely. We're just going to fry those away now for around 3 to 4 minutes until they start softening. I'll get a wooden spoon and we'll start tossing them around in that pan. These onions and peppers have been cooking now for around a minute and a half, and you can see they're starting to soften. You need to keep them moving in the pan if you can. You don't want these to catch or brown off too much. The idea is to caramelise and soften them into a lovely glutinous glue. We're going to just add a little splash of balsamic almost at the end of cooking, just to make this into a lovely marmalade. After about 5 minutes, the onions have softened beautifully and it's starting to caramelise. You can see it's starting to get a little bit of colour, but by keeping them moving in the pan, nothing's caught, they're not browned off or anything. Ready now to add your splash of balsamic vinegar, so here goes. Not enough, it's going to hit everything in the pan. We're not making a sauce here, this is going to evaporate off and go almost entirely into the onion and pepper mix. There we go. And we'll just continue cooking now for about another 3 to 4 minutes. After a further 3 to 4 minutes, your marmalade's reduced, and it's time to either, you can remove this from the pan, or if you have a sufficiently large frying pan as I have, just pile it over to one side, and it's time to add the burgers. We're cooking 4 of the plant-based patties, and these will just go in to the same pan you've used to make the marmalade in. And you want to leave them side down for around 5 minutes per side before flipping. So let's cook one side, we'll show you these turned in just a minute. After 2 minutes you'll see these burgers, the juices are starting to run frying really nicely. Sounds just like a good burger should. If your frying pan's smaller than this, and this is a whopping frying pan, then the relish mix can be removed and put into a warming oven just to keep it warm and soft. These are doing nicely, but still going to need another 3 minutes before I attempt to flip these. The other thought we've had looking at this mix is it would be far more attractive as a relish if I'd used red peppers and red onions. Really take on a sort of warming glow rather than that slightly brown and yellow, not the most attractive marmalade I've made. But it's each to their own, and I've used what I've had in the fridge for this lot of burgers. They're looking really good. Okay, so we're at 5 minutes now. Time to flip your burgers. Spatula's ideal for this. Lovely, look, they should just have that nice browning as a burger should on the cook side. There we go. Beautiful. What a lovely sound. Now these still have about 3 minutes to do on that side before they will be cooked, but it's okay to add your vegan cheese slices over the top. Now I know these are much bigger than the actual burgers. It doesn't matter, these will just melt down around the sides and give you that lovely cheese topping to your burger. We're going to give those 3 minutes on the hot plate, and then the whole saucepan or frying pan, we're going to transfer it into the body of the warming arga, and that can sit there until your fries are ready to serve. Time to relax for a while. Just look at those. They'll sit perfectly happily in this warming arga until my chips are ready, which are roasting away in my roasting arga. Still going to be probably about 5 minutes before those are ready. We're going to serve them with a coarse cut coleslaw, just a cabbage and carrot coleslaw made with a vegan mayonnaise and a few dried cranberries in there. Tomatoes, good quality burger buns, gherkins or sweet pickle if that's your thing, and an American style sweet mustard really finishes them off, or ketchup, whatever you prefer, and a drink will make them go down well. So let's start. Next clip we'll start amalgamating everything together and preparing the burgers and showing you the end result. And if you're going to all the trouble of making a meal of it, you may as well serve them on a nice bit of china. And what we've got out currently in the farmhouse kitchen is this rather nice LPH ware from the 1960s and 70s, and decorated in Norfolk from Staffordshire or Stoke-on-Trent bone china. Got quite a nice selection and range of them, I think. Blue partridge, red partridge, I think woodcock in the middle. Very nice period bits of English china. So we're going to be putting our burgers on those. So we love having them off vintage and period porcelain and china when we can. Okay, so everything's ready now. Just look at those burgers. Absolutely draped in those cheese. The smell off this is absolutely wonderful. Onion marmalade's reduced a little bit more, some lovely juices in the base of the pan. We're going to serve it with this rough coleslaw, our fries, which have just come out of the arga and are ready, and we're all ready to plate up a burger. So let's do that for you and show you the end result. And there we go, burger made up with the cheese dressed burger, some of the onion and pepper marmalade, lovely rounds of fresh tomato with the American mustard draped on top, portion of fries and some coleslaw, and that is going to eat really, really well. Hope you've enjoyed this video. Hope you give it a go. Do put your comments and any variations you come up with in the comments and let us know. We'll try anything here, but I think this combination is going to be a winner with you when you do try it. These burgers are absolutely delicious. Thanks for watching.